Okay, good morning and good afternoon, you guys. Today we're going to talk with Freya about movement and dance and how it has helped her mental health and how she has connected other people and inspired other people to get in touch with their bodies and move around. We're just going to wait for her to get on. I'm going to invite her. Let's see. We have a couple more minutes though. I hope everyone's doing good today in Seattle. Well, I'm in Tacoma now, but in Washington it's been super hot, and we've just been trying to stay cool because our apartment doesn't have AC, so we've been just like lounging around or going to relatives' houses to stay cool. Okay. But I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Get my questions ready. Okay, I'm gonna invite Freya on now. Let's see. Hi.
Hello, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good. It's actually freezing today. It is so cold.
Oh,
Um,
really?
I know that that's so tricky because you're in summer, but I live up kind of in like a mountainous area and it's just like crazy cold here today. But good spirits apart from that. How are you?
I'm doing good. I've been having a bit of a slow morning, but we're about to go over and get the rest of my plants from my parents' place and bring them over here. So I'm super excited about that.
I feel like that like solidifies the move. Like that
Yeah.
makes it happen.
Yeah.
Finish the
um, well, you can introduce yourself now if you like.
For sure. So hello, my name's Freya. I'm me. I basically do social media, and on there I share a lot about my vulnerability, my mental health, dance, yoga, movement, mindfulness, kind of that stuff. I'm currently living in the east coast of Australia in the Northern Rivers, but I'm originally from Western Australia.
And what projects have you been up to recently?
Um, It's actually really funny. I was talking to my friend the other day. I've got 17 projects on the go. I
Yeah.
feel like that's the way I work. It's like I can't just focus on one thing. I've got to do like five things at once.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I've just been redoing my course, The Love Club, which is a course all about self-acceptance. So I've been kind of revamping that and adding a Facebook group into it and really rounding up some really beneficial additional resources, tweaking the content a little bit, just making sure it's all relevant and up to date. I've also been working on my art. So I do visual art, like paintings and stuff. So I've been really loving that recently. It feels like a really good um, like path self-expression for me at the moment. So I'm working on doing lots of paintings and hopefully getting prints done of them too.
Yeah.
So many other things. I have just been planning and doing sister circles, so new moon and full moon circles with mindfulness, journaling, and yoga in there too. I've been feeling really called to do more yoga teaching rather than just the dance stuff as well. So I've kind of been like meandering off that way a little bit. But yeah, I feel like that gives me of everything I've been up to.
Yeah, yeah, so much. What type of like medium do you like to use for your painting?
Acrylic.
Oh,
Acrylic and gouache, Gucci.
yeah.
But acrylic is my favorite. I feel like it's great for me because I don't have the patience to do oil.
Mhm.
And watercolor is, I really struggle with watercolor. I
Really?
feel like it's maybe hard, maybe not hard, but maybe more challenging to build shapes. And I really like to do like patterns and stuff like that, which is kind of something I find the easiest to do with acrylics. So yeah.
I always found that acrylics are the hardest ones for me.
Really, that's so interesting. Everyone's so different. I feel like it's just everyone's individual like creative expression. Just like
Yeah.
being to find what works for them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love moving into different art forms and just expressing myself through that. It's really nice to not put pressure on yourself to have a certain outcome too, which is like something I'm working on when it comes to art. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is when you don't put an outcome on it or when you don't try and paint something, the most magical stuff can happen.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah. And then, well, this talk is going to be specifically about movement and dance. And so, how has dance movement impacted your mental health?
Um, so huge to me. I say it a lot on my platform. I think that dance movement in particular has been probably like the number one tool that has helped me with my mental health, with my healing. Um, for me, coming from a background of sexual trauma, I feel like dance in particular has this ability to like let you rule and occupy the entirety of your body and your space. I've just seen a comment that said she could talk about dance for hours. Yeah,
Yeah.
get me started. um, yeah, I feel like for me when I first started dancing, it was like this reclamation of my body. And saying like, you don't own my body, this is mine, I get to do whatever I want with it. So really powerful. And then as I've progressed on my dance journey, it has been like a lot more depth has been woven into it. So rather than just being that super empowering, this is me, this is my body practice, there's been a lot of emotional healing that's come into it as well, and energetic healing that I'm now able to do when I dance. I can shift and move emotions. I can tap into emotions that I've maybe not been
Yeah.
feeling. And in terms of mental health, that's been so profound because it's been able to give me that safe space to really dive into everything that's there and to process it in a healthy way.
Yeah. Um, so I did like art therapy for a bit, and it was more like painting and drawing. And so when I saw on your platform you were talking about dance, it just kind of like stood out to me because I never really connected too much with the painting, drawing type aspect of it. But like dance definitely is a way to just kind of like free yourself, and you're like feeling parts of your body that you don't usually move on like a day-to-day basis as well. It's like very interesting.
I totally agree. And especially with the art therapy stuff, like I was actually thinking about this just before we like there's so many different modalities of therapy, and I feel like art kind of like dance for your mind, you know?
Yeah.
Like it gets all of your creative juices out and you can flow and move wherever your mind wants to move. And then dance has that added layer of like physicality like put into it where it's like also feel the physical effects of that practice too.
Yeah, for sure.
How
And
it
how, I mean, I feel like we all kind of dance a bit or like feel our bodies moving to rhythms and beats. But how did you start like implementing it into your daily life or like as a way of healing?
is. So when I first started moving, it was the year that I was graduating high school, a few years ago now. And for me, like it was whenever I was home alone, like I would just blast the music and just like occupy the entire space. And it was just like the most joyous, liberating feeling at that point. And because I just got so hooked on that on that feeling, like I just couldn't stop. And then I started as I progressed, like when I moved over here in particular, I realized that lots of people here just dance all the time. And I was like, cool, I've found the right place. So it stopped being something that I kind of hid away in my bedroom, and I started to do in public, which was,
Yeah.
it was like for me a really processing and eliminating shame and like, oh, what will these people think of me? No, I'm
Yeah.
just ants like an absolute Fruit Loop. I'm dead. Like I'm not like la 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 ballerina. Like I'm full creature. Like
Yeah.
scary. So there's no doubt there's a few people like looking at me like being like, who is this person? But it just felt so good to just like loud and proud do it in public. I don't know, there's something about being seen that's not necessarily validating, but it just feels like, I don't know, wholesome in a way. It's like giving everyone else permission as well, whilst giving yourself permission. And in terms of like how I integrated that into like a daily practice, I've actually started doing more of a sensual kind of dance, like dance timeline, like over here, um, where I now use dance as a means to really drop in, connect to my emotions, my femininity, and really slow down after like a really big week of work or just after like life in society.
Yeah.
Um, and the way that I do that is I play really slow music and I just try and drop in as deeply as I can, like using really slow, gentle movements. Sometimes I'll start with yoga, sometimes I'll have oils that I rub on my body. And that, from there, I start at that, and sometimes that's enough for me that night and then day. And then sometimes I want to progress further where I build it up into a joyous experience or I build it up into a real catharsis where I'm releasing lots of emotions. So that's kind of where I start, is like slowly just really like shedding the layers of humanness and coming
Yeah.
into like my body feel like how does it feel to be in my body? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
I feel like, so I haven't done that much dance like that or like feeling my body as much as I would like, probably because I've done like a big move and jogs and
Mm.
everything. I've just been like a bit crazy. But I know in the past, especially when I was younger, it was something that I did more often. And I do remember feeling just like super free afterwards, and also just like, I don't know, just like very uplifting. Even if you're like you were talking about before, with like sensual movements or just playing different music for the moods that you want to feel or like let go of. Afterwards, it just feels like very uplifting and like light, and it's so great.
You fully move stuff. It's really quite phenomenal. You said something before that I found really interesting that I just wanted to highlight. You said that you did dance when you were younger, but maybe not so much nowadays. I feel like that is so common,
Yeah,
and very interesting that dance when you're young is totally acceptable, whereas dance when, unless you're a professional dancer, it's like not like, unless you're doing it commercially or for competition, it's not as like free. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah. I find that interesting too. It's kind of relates to what I've talked to a lot of my friends about within the art community and like art world. Is like there's so much pressure to make money off of your art or like do it for other people. Yeah. Do you have any favorite music or artists you like to use for this?
I love this question. Honestly, I can dance to anything. Like one like piano, like classical music, and the next minute I'll be listening to drum and bass, and then the next minute
Yeah.
I'll be listening to like fairy music. Next,
Yeah.
and I think that, I mean, like for people that are just starting, find music that you feel like your heart can connect to. Like if music moves a part of you, it can move your body as well. Um, but maybe when you are able to tap into that dance movement a little more easily, it can be so fun to play with different genres because
Yeah.
every genre out a different emotion. Like, because music is art, right? And it moves different parts of you, it connects to different parts of you, and you can really explore that during dance. But if you're looking for recommendations, a few of my favorite people to dance to is Alt J. I don't know what it is. There's something about the clunkiness and weirdness of their music that I'm really able to go deep with, which I really love. I also love kind of more like sensual music. I've got like a big playlist on my Spotify called Sensual Sundays, which is really juicy to dance to. Um, really love Erica Badu. I really
Yeah.
love this cool, hey.
Yeah.
Like, some cool stuff in that music. I also really love um, when I first started, it was Fleetwood Mac, like hardcore Fleetwood Mac, non-stop every day. But I feel like as I've progressed, it's kind of just been a bit more fluid with genres. I also love instrumental stuff,
Yeah.
um, hippie music, all kinds of things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. It's so fun also sharing music with other people and like discovering different things. I've been doing that a lot more, especially during quarantine when it's hard to connect with people in person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Um, how do you treat your body as a home, and do you have any special rituals that you like to do?
love I think primarily the number one thing that I always come back to is more of an intention or a mindset. So I have this like deep intention and this mindset to always be kind to myself and to my, so looks like is if I'm noticing like some crazy thoughts start to come up or if I'm starting to feel really heavy, like I'll just pause and I'll be like, I'm going to be kind to myself. And then I kind of ask my body what kindness looks like in that moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's naps, sometimes it's shaking it out, sometimes it's going, can really vary depending on what's coming up for me. But that's just been major, like fully major. I've really noticed a shift a lot in me.
Mhm.
Um, and in terms of like rituals and stuff, I love my self pleasure rituals. I really love getting a big day of that. I also love what I was mentioning before, like the sensual slow dance. I really feel that that gives back to my body, whereas some other movements are kind of just like an explosion of
Yeah.
emotion, like slow and inward. Um, rubbing oils on my body, taking baths when I can. All of that kind of stuff's really nice and juicy.
Yeah, that's really great. Do you have anything else you want to add?
um, I mean, honestly, like that comment said, I could talk about dance for hours. I did actually think of this thing. Um, am I allowed to just like rant for a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was thinking about why dance is so much. I mean, like what it could be that is so powerful. And then I was thinking about like when we experience a right, we have like a physical reaction. Like, for example, remember a time, or maybe if you're not in the space to remember a time, um, that you had like a panic attack, anxiety attack. Like, you have very physical reactions to that. And
Yeah.
then when you experience lots of joy, you're laughing, you're feeling it inside your body. It's another physical reaction. So then I was like, if our emotions can facilitate physical reactions, can physical actions facilitate emotional release? And here,
Yeah.
I think I hacked it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when I dance, sometimes, or most times that I dance, I can feel different energetic, go for it, like places in my body and um, maybe emotions or experiences. Even sometimes I get memories come up inside my body, and if I go into a dance with the intention of working with a certain emotion or working with a certain experience, I'm able to kind of like do a little theatrical and kind of um, feel that in a really safe
Yeah.
environment. And yeah, I was just thinking about that thing and thought got it in because I was thinking it's really cool that we have the ability to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like it's just so interesting to think about that. I just want to sit here and be like, yeah.
I know. I just every time I like trying to do my work and then have you seen that? Are you on TikTok? Have
Yeah.
you seen the TikTok where it's like it's that noise and it's near?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sitting at my computer and I'm like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Oh gosh.
Sure. Um, so where can we find you? Do you have, are you on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere else? Oh yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, kind of like on off YouTube at the moment. I'm not super flowing with it right now, but you
Yeah.
can find Instagram. That's where I'm the most active. My Instagram name is Freya Haley. Haley is just Haley, spelled weirdly. And yeah, you can find me there. And from there, you can find my website. I'm on TikTok, Faye Frey. It's like my little alias. I'm more like sneaky on TikTok. I like it as like a platform, um, just for laughs and good times. So yeah, you can be there, and you go on my Instagram, my website's there. You can subscribe to my mailing list if you want to keep up to date in any events and stuff. Sometimes I do online dance circles,
Mhm.
online circles, or sister circles rather, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with the sister circles and creating like communities like that. I think it's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I totally agree. It's like I've since like it's like not as accessible to do retreats right now. I was like, why don't I just do it like online? And I've got this amazing international online community. It's like,
Yeah.
it'd be rude not to.
Exactly. Well, I think that's so great, and I'm so glad we got to like meet virtually.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and it's been awesome to chat with you. I've been like a little follower for a while of you, and I really love your vibe about. So
So,
thank you for chatting with me and for thinking of me for this live. Yeah.
of course. So I think we'll end it here, but we'll keep in touch, and thank you so much again.
For sure. See ya.
Bye.